Today we have a beauty. This is the Sig P226 Stainless Elite. It's a gun I've wanted for quite a while. When they first came out a few years ago, I've seen them, and I've seen them posted on Facebook and multiple different places online. And I always wanted to get one. At the time, I wasn't much of a double action, single action fan, so I never did. Or I trade and buy a lot of stuff used, and they never just seemed to pop up at the right time. Well, I got offered one last week on a trade deal, and I went for it. I've always wanted one of these. They're just one of the most gorgeous looking guns from the factory out there, in my opinion. Just everything about it, the stainless, these rosewood grips they put on them. It's just an all-around beautiful gun. And today I wanted to talk about it, show you a little bit, on here at the desk, and we're also going to shoot it later too. I have some footage I'll put here after we're done with this section with this video. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First, it's 9mm. They also make it in 40. You have, I believe it comes with two 15-round magazines. Now, I could be wrong because I got it used and it came with 3 of these 20-round mags and 1 of the 17-round mag. Now, that mag's loaded, so I'm going to go ahead and put that over off the side of the shelf. But that's just a standard 15-round mag. I might have said 17 a second ago, but I'm sorry, it's 15. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. The only thing different, this does have an Armory Craft flat trigger in it, as you can see here. So that's not obviously factory. It comes with the standard, curved Sig trigger. They do come with the SRT trigger installed, so that's one of the perks of the Elite. Besides, it's got front strap checkering, front serrations, the SRT trigger, and then the Beaver tail. It's got a nice extended Beaver tail. So that's what they claim is the Elite, or what the upgrades are to it. So take your standard 226, add these few things along with those grips, and you have the Elite. Let's see, price on this, you're going to be looking around. Now, it is discontinued, I will say that before I start. They don't make this anymore. You'll have to find it used or secondhand somewhere. But at the time, they cost about, I think, $1,100 to $1,200 from the factory. And I picked this up. I traded a couple other guns for it, so I came out ahead in what I had in those other guns. And it's just one of them guns I had to have. Standard double action, single action trigger. Now, the flat trigger in here, it came with the original trigger also, but this is what came in it. And I think I am going to swap it out. Now, nothing against Armory Craft. This is an awesome trigger, and especially in the single action mode, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. But the double action just kind of weird, and I think I might put the regular curved trigger back into it. Gun has Sig-Lite night sights installed. It's a heavy gun. It's all stainless steel, so it's weighing in about 42 ounces unloaded. And loaded, it's even heavier. But on the plus side of that, it's absorbing that 9mm recoil extremely well. I mean, it's insane how, it feels like you're shooting a 22 almost. What else do we want to say here? I have these grips. They're a little big for me. If you look at it from the back side, you can see how wide they are. They're pretty wide. They feel good in the hand, but there's really, that's a little bit of texturing there, but it's not much. So I also have, like you'll see in the video later on, that has these Hogue Extreme grips on it while I'm shooting it, because they feel better overall when shooting. For me, I kind of consider these more of a show grip than the actual shooting grips, but if you have a larger hand, then those grips will work fine. So let's get back to the gun. The biggest claim to fame on this is that SRT trigger, and if you have one in one of your SIGs, you'll know how great they are. Now combine it with this single action trigger, makes it even more awesome. So let's go ahead and show you. Gun's clear, a little dirty from shooting it, but she is clear. So let me go ahead and show you. We'll start off. Look how, I mean, there's no, I mean, I'm pushing that rather hard, and it's not budging. So the double action pull is heavy, it's long, but it is pretty smooth. Let's go and decock. That's another thing with the SIGs is, like a double action gun, like my FNs or my H&K, you can just pull that double action over and over, and it's going to keep cycling the hammer. It won't go into single action mode until the slide cycles. But with the SIG, it's a little different. To get it back into that double action mode, you have to cycle or pull a hammer back and decock to get back into that mode. So let's go ahead and look at the single action. If you can see, it's got some take up, but I mean, it comes to a wall and it stops. And then from there, super crisp break. About 4 pounds, and we'll measure the weight here in a second. I didn't show you the best part. Now let's look at the reset here. Nothing. I mean, it's got an amazing reset. You know, with the flat trigger, it makes it even better. So that's one reason why I'm having a little bit of trouble putting that other stock trigger back in it, because I know it's still going to be as good, but it's not going to be as good as this. I mean, that's awesome. So great trigger, the SRT trigger. If you have just a regular 226, it's highly recommended. I've had them in other SIGs before, but with this, it just makes it's 10 times better. So let's go ahead and decock the gun, and let's do some readings on the trigger weight here. They claim you're getting about a 10-pound double action pull and about a 4.4 single action pull. So let's go ahead and see what we get here. I tell you, that's not right there. That's 7. I have to keep decocking to get it. About 7. It's hard to do with a flat trigger. Kind of depends. If I get it real low, I can get it even. So let's average from there. Average about 5. That's not about right. I'm gonna say it's in the 6.5 to 7 range. Pretty heavy, but it is smooth. So now let's go ahead and check out the single action pull. See what we get there. Hope you can see the readings here. One more. And the average went away. So we've seen it was about 2.5 pounds. So it's a little lighter than what Sig says. Now that could be because of the flat trigger in it. But that's just it's a really nice trigger. You see, you can really get going with it when you're live fire, when you're actually that reset. It's great. So what else do I want to say? We did that, did the trigger. That's one thing I wanted to show everybody. Your 20 round mags, of course, they extend out. Nice base place on them. When you're using these Hogue Extreme grips, they kind of extend a little bit further down, almost like a mag well. So the 17 round or 15 round mags, you're gonna have to hit in and then kind of push with your thumb. So depending on what you're going to use this gun for, this is just a play gun for me, or a range gun. I'm not going to carry it. More likely won't use it for home defense. So that's it's up to you, whatever you want to use. If you find one of these now, I do know they still make the stainless in the 10mm, the 220 and 45, and maybe others, but I'm not sure. They've switched it to the alloy, I believe. That's a little bit lighter in the alloyed frame. So if you come across one of these, I definitely recommend it. You'll see when I shoot here in a few minutes. You know, I shot extremely well, and you can see how low the recoil is. We'll take it down real quick just to show you. Standard, like I say, just rotate your takedown lever. Inside, this does have a stainless recoil spring in it. A little dirty from shooting, as you'll see, but nothing special inside there. Nice long rails. Of course, you got a Picatinny rail, dust cover. Go ahead and put this back in here. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. We've talked about it. Talked about the price. Talked about the trigger. Talked about those beautiful rosewood grips. Now, some people don't like those. Weird thing is, I'm not a big wood. I don't really like wooden grips that much. I've took them off my Tank Folio 10mm. I don't really like shotguns and stuff with wood grips. I mean, it just has to be the right gun, and this is the right gun to have those on. So, well, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up for the tabletop portion of this, and we'll go ahead and cut over to the live shooting at the range, and I'll say thank y'all for watching. We're gonna be doing some more videos here soon, so if you like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. So let's go ahead and shoot the 226 Elite stainless. Got 320 round mags loaded up here. Got some targets down there. So let's go ahead and shoot them and make sure where I'm at here. Okay, should be all right. Now, these are 115 grain reloads. My 3.8 grains tight group with 115 grain Hornady hat bullet. So these are my reloads. So any failures you might see today, I would go ahead and blame on the load, but I've never really had trouble with this load except for every once in a while. Being this big heavy slide, and I had these loaded down just a little light for some of my other guns, so we'll see how they react. So let's go ahead and fire some. These will be the first shots I've had with this gun, so let's go ahead and try it. Whew. It's a sweet shooter. That trigger makes it really nice. Suits extremely well. Let me go ahead and decock it. And, this pulls really heavy, so let's go ahead and see if we can actually hit anything with the double action. Case didn't get out of there. So these are loaded pretty light. So with this heavy slide, I'm not fully surprised that this is that happened. Let's go ahead and just keep going here. Not too bad, it's pretty nice. let's see, what else can I say about it? Let's just go ahead and load it up and shoot it again. I'll talk while you look at my shirt here so I don't have to readjust this camera, but let's go ahead and load up another mag. It's definitely nice to shoot. That big heavy frame, all stainless. It definitely absorbs, you know, whatever recoil is there with the 9mm. Trigger on it's amazing. I have to get used to it. I was missing some pretty easy shots. I'm not that far out, so I don't want to. I got the cardboard target out there, but I got that for tested a couple 10mm loads I'm gonna do after I'm done with this. So let's just load up another mag. Get some shots off. This is I really like the gun, but I do think I'm gonna put the other trigger back in. Even though I mostly shoot in single action only, just feels kind of different. But it is nice. It's a great trigger. Looks great. So let's go ahead and shoot some more here. Let's stay back. Ooh, slide's hot. We have another failure to eject. Some of these loads might be pushing it at the lower end of the spectrum for this gun. Yeah, we're gonna keep getting them. Yeah. Fuck, those are hot. The slide is too hot. Well, looks like 3.8 grains is just a little too low for a heavier gun like this. Oh man, it's unfortunate. I really like that load. Works good in most of my striker fired guns, so just this heavy slide, it's just not cycling it all the way. So we'll go ahead and go back. I'll show you a little bit more on the table about it.